Hello guys and welcome back to SWTOR Central. In this video I'll be taking you through the classes Sith Sorcerer and Jedi Sage, so you can decide if either one is the class that you want to play out of the 16 in total that you can choose from. We'll be going over combat playstyle and story, but don't worry, there won't be any spoilers. Let's start with combat playstyle. A good place to begin is with what the Sith Sorcerer and the Jedi Sage can actually do. These classes wield a single lightsaber, which is more of just a force user facade thing, as the amount of times you'll actually use your lightsaber with this class is 0, unless you happen to run into a cutscene that has you cut someone down with it. These classes are ranged, which means they focus on using their abilities from a distance. The majority of their moveset have a big distance of how far away you can use an ability from. The Sorcerer and the Sage have two barrier abilities, which are typically referred to as bubbles, which are used for absorbing and reflecting damage. The first one can be used often for some defensive bonus, as these classes use light armor and are depicted as squishy. The second ability is a barrier which lasts 8 seconds. During that time you take no damage at all from any enemy. To top this off, you'll also be able to use an ability called Phase Walk. This ability allows you to drop a marker, so to speak, and teleport back to it within a certain range. This can be an incredibly useful ability for getting out of danger in an instant. Let's move on to discipline paths. These are what decide what kind of Sith Sorcerer or Jedi Sage you are. You have 3 choices. 2 of them are focused on dealing damage, while the other is focused on healing. For the Sorcerer, your options are Lightning, Madness, and Corruption. Since these classes are mirrored, this means the Sage has the same options, but they have different names and different animations. Your options for the Sage are Telekinetics, Balance, and Seer. Let's start with the Lightning Sorcerer. This path takes you down one that will have you feeling like Darth Sidious, casting nothing but abilities that involve lightning. From Thundering Blast to Lightning Flash, your dark side fantasy will be lived with this path. This one is the use of burst damage. You'll be able to deal a lot of damage in bursts every now and then. Moving on to Madness, this one is the Sith Sorcerer's adaptation of the Hatred Sith Assassin, using near the same abilities from a range. You'll have access to Death Field and Force Leech, which are health sucking abilities. This spec focuses more on dealing damage over time, and can also apply their damage to a group through the use of what we call a dot spread. This is done when you use the ability Death Field. Next up is Corruption. This path leads you into being a healer. You'll be able to use several healing abilities to keep your group members alive, or any other healable person, including yourself of course. The Sorcerer Healer is said to be one that is recommended for new players, with its easygoing and simplistic learning curve. Now, as mentioned before, these classes are mirrored, meaning the Sage has the same paths to choose, but they have different names and different animations. Let's go in the same order. Telekinetics is the mirrored version of Lightning. This path will have you feeling like the Satele Shan you see in the Hope Star Wars The Old Republic trailer. You'll have access to awesome force waves with names such as Turbulence and Telekinetic Burst. As seen with the Lightning Sorcerer, the Telekinetic Sage is focused on burst damage. Next up is Balance, which is the mirrored version of Madness. You'll be able to apply damage over time debuffs to your enemies and spread them to others. This path also feels a little bit more mobile. Lastly, we have the Jedi Sage Seer. This is the mirrored version of the Sith Sorcerer's Corruption path. You'll be taken down the path of a healer, being able to keep your group members alive and yourself. As mentioned before, this path can be very new player friendly, and you should try it out if you're thinking about healing for the first time. Now let's talk about story. Now, seeing as the Sith Sorcerer and the Jedi Sage have the same story as the Sith Assassin and Jedi Shadow, I'll just give you the same information as I did before. Each class has its own story focus point. For the Sorcerer, this is power and dark side artifacts. The story takes you on an epic adventure of exploring the dark side and its history. You start out as a slave who has been sent to the Sith Academy for training. You'll undergo trials to prove your worthiness to become an apprentice to a powerful Sith Lord. Beware though, you're not the only one competing for this opportunity. From shocking people during conversations to choosing dark sadistic dialogue options. It's difficult to really tell you about the story without spoiling the major plot, so I'll say this. After experiencing the story to the end and seeing how things play out when the most powerful Sith are watching, you'll be left with some pretty intense goosebumps and a state of awe leaving you wanting so much more. As for the Jedi Sage storyline, Well, let's just say that it's not the crowd favourite. This storyline has you focused on healing powers and Force enlightenment. But don't let me fool you, you'll still be engaging with Darkside users in combat along with the typical bad guy boss fight at the end. Emphasis on the healing rituals though. When you start out, you're recognised as a Jedi with potential and are given a master to exploit that. Things quickly turn south though, and you'll be left on your own adventure, choosing between the light and the dark. If you love playing as the bad guy, the Sorcerer storyline will rock your world. The Sages, however, probably won't affect your world. Then again, I'm biased for the Sorcerer. Try them both out. Okay ladies and gentlemen, I hope that this video somewhat helped you decide whether or not you want to play the Sith Sorcerer or Jedi Sage. If you're a new player of Star Wars The Old Republic, then I highly recommend you subscribe and turn on notifications. This channel's main focus is Star Wars The Old Republic news and guides, so you have a lot to gain if you are a new player. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.